back to another What's in There video with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at this little fella right here, Village Attacks Traps. Now I've been going through all of the different little expansions that I have for Village Attacks, so this is the last one that I have, and there's a little bit of an addendum at the end of this one for some Kickstarter exclusive content that I wanted to show you as well. I don't know how available that's going to be, but did want to let you know that it's available and out there so you can take a look at it if you'd like, but it's at the end, so if you want to skip it, you can do that too. The traps, though, is exactly that. 3D representations of all the traps that come in the base game with those little cards. Let's get down to the table and take a look. So as we dive into the box of traps for Village Attacks, there's nothing there. That's because I've already taken it out. Let me show you. So this is basically what you're going to get in your box of Village Attacks traps. They are basically just 3D model renderings of all of the different trap cards that you get in the base game. And of course, we'll go over each one so that you can just show how closely the model is to the pictures that are on the cards. And we'll pretty much be done. Got one more thing I want to show you after that, though. All right, so the first thing we have is the Boulder Trap. It does 3 damage to the zone and 2 damage to an adjacent zone of your choice when this trap is fired off. So it's pretty nasty, but the model is also pretty cool as well. It just has that very, maybe not so much Indiana Jones vibe to it, but I definitely get it. There's just little, pieces of debris everywhere, chairs and tables and all this other kind of stuff, and a bunch of dust clouds that are going around. So it's a very neat model. It's definitely going to change up how the board looks. And next we have the Spike Pit. It simply just does 2 damage whenever it's triggered. And this one is a little bit more of a more basic model, but you can see it has that skeleton in there and the head over the spike and everything like that. So again, pretty good representation of what the card has, and it looks better on the table. The Log Ram is here. Now the Log Ram is going to do 4 damage and flip the first player coin. If it's a heads, the villager advances 1 zone. If it's a tails, the villagers have to retreat 1 zone. So they run out of the way. But it's actually pretty cool because it actually is put on this little pedestal here that is clear. So it's going to really accentuate the actual model itself, and as it's supposed to be hanging from the ceiling and so forth. So I really like this model, and I like the fact that they come with these little plastic standees as well. So the Fire Trap also comes on one of those little clear plastic pedestals, and it does 3 damage, and town heroes suffer burn. So that's a pretty nasty little thing here, but as you can see, the model is pretty neat. Almost exactly matches, of course, the representation on the card, but just a really neat little like a wall sconce type looking thing, and I think it looks really cool. So that's the Fire Trap. The Mimic Chest, when it's triggered, is going to do 3 damage and damage to town heroes, and damage to town heroes rather are stunned as well. So that's pretty cool, but the model is just really neat. I just like the look of this. Just has that real weird goosebumpy looking feel to it, but I like the way it looks a lot. Next is this Chandelier, and the Chandelier does 2 damage, and villagers have to retreat 1 zone. Basically, it's going to fall from the ceiling, I guess, but you see here how the Chandelier looks, and it comes on one of those little pedestals so that you can show that it's hanging from the ceiling, of course. But just really sinister looking chandelier, not very pretty at all, but something you'd probably expect to find in a monster's lair. Next we have the Crushing Walls that do 4 damage, and villagers have to advance 1 zone. That's pretty neat, but the Crushing Walls are just that, just really neat looking division there, but the detail on the actual wall here with all of the different spikes and the ribbons that are hanging from other villagers who probably have been shredded are also there as well. So that's a pretty neat rendering there of the Crushing Walls. And then there, of course, is the treasure hoard, where villagers cannot leave this zone. Villagers are just drawn to all the gold and the weaponry and all that other kind of stuff, but it looks just like a mound of plastic right now with possibly a treasure chest sticking out of the top. But after you get this painted and put some really nice shiny gold on all of those different all those coins and crowns and swords and all that other kind of stuff, it's going to look really nice on the board. Next are the swinging blades. The swinging blades do 3 damage and hunters are stunned. So if you look at it, it's just got that, of course, the clear acrylic plastic that's going to make it look like it's hanging from the ceiling. The faces on the corners are a really neat touch that was, of course, in the rendering as well, but the artistic rendering, but just a really neat looking model here as well. And last but not least is the portal. You can move all villagers 1 zone in any direction with this trap, and it's just going to be a flat representation. Of course, it's just like runes or something like that that's going to be on the floor, so it doesn't have a whole lot of 3D representation, but still possibly a little bit better than just having a card sitting in that zone. Now, I do have to say one thing about the acrylic thingies. Yeah, I broke one of them trying to put them in. Some of them don't quite fit the holes that you're supposed to be putting them in. Some of them pop right in, no problems, but some of the other ones you're going to have to drill out that hole a little bit to make sure that this acrylic stand fits in there better. Just really tight, and if you try to, use too much force, this is what's going to happen. It's just going to crack on you and break. But, it's not that big of a deal, I guess, but you do want to make sure that you drill out these holes a little bit, not too much, before you put those in. Now, just as a small addendum, I was able to get my hands on some of the exclusive Kickstarter content that comes, so let's go ahead and take a look at this stuff real quick. And in this Kickstarter exclusive, you're going to get the Revenant Undead monster that players can control with this guy right here, his 3 ability tokens. Then you're also going to get the Grimlord hero, town hero, with his model as well. So let's take a little bit of a closer look with both of these. So with the Revenant, first of all, he is an undead monster, so you're going to be using the green base here. He's got 8 health, and he has 6 damage, 6 experience before he can level up his things over here. He's got 2 spots in each of the defense, reserve, and movement slots. His special abilities over here, the innate ability that he comes with is called the Returned. The Castle Heart suffers just 1 damage when you resurrect. All right, so that's cool. Now, if you upgrade that, though, the Castle Heart suffers no damage when you resurrect. So that's even better. Then you also have this Death and Decay ability here where it says take 1 damage and deal 2 damage to your zone. You have to use a Retaliate die to do that, though. If you flip it over, you still have to use the Retaliate die, but you take 1 damage and deal 3 instead of just 2. The Living Bomb ability here says that your zone suffers damage equal to half the damage tokens on your dashboard rounded up, and you are slain. You have to use a magic die to do that. You flip it over, you still have to use the magic die here, and it says your current zone suffers damage equal to the damage tokens on your dashboard, not half rounded up. Now it's just all of the damage. So if you get a lot of damage here, you can deal a lot of damage using this Living Bomb, but you are then slain. But if you have this one already leveled up as well, you're not going to be causing the Castle Heart any damage when you do that. So that's a pretty cool combo. But that's the Revenant, and here his model is pretty neat as well. And here you have the Grimlord, the town hero version, basically, of the Revenant. And he's got 6 health, he moves 2, he does 2 damage, and his range is melee or 1 hex or tile away. So that's pretty cool. His ability down here, it says at the beginning of each villager phase, spawn 2 peasants in the Grimlord's zone. So he has somewhat of an entourage with him wherever he goes, and that continues to do that so that the entourage continues to grow. His model here is also pretty cool. Basically, it's a living version of the Revenant. You know, his armor is still taken care of well. The cape in the back isn't all tattered. He's not missing any skin or flesh or bones or anything like that. So it's a neat model. I like the bird that's back here as well. So very neat, very well designed. So that's that for the Village Attacks Traps expansion. I like all of the different renderings that they've done there. The models are very detailed and look really good. The only drawback was the fact that some of those posts just don't go up into the model very well or very easily. So be very gentle with them. At least more gentle than I was in trying to get those posts in there, because they will break if you apply too much pressure in that process. So be careful with that. But really, that's the only drawback, and it's probably more my bad than anything else. But I did want to let you know that it happened, just so that you can maybe not have that happen with your copy. The exclusive content that I showed you, it is Kickstarter exclusive, so I don't know if you're going to be able to get a hold of it, but if you see it, now you know what it is. And that's really my entire goal here with these videos, is just to let you know what's out there and give you a little bit more of a in-depth or detailed look at it, so that you can make a better decision on the other side of the equation there. So that's it from me for the Village Attacks Traps, and we thank you for joining us. I certainly appreciate you taking your time. See you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care now.